It's Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation. Back at it at LivehiphopDaily.tv, and I got my guest in the building. What's up, Brandy? Hey. Y'all, wait, hold on. Y'all cannot take over my show because I already looked at y'all. Y'all started laughing, and I'm like, this is about to be a takeover right now. But I got Brandy and Danielle with UNOIA.
Yes. That was perfect.
Yes. Thank you, Nicole. Yo, she that's my homie right there. We did a test before I walk on here. UNOIA, perfect. Yeah. So I got y'all in the building, and I'm actually blessed to be able to have you. I found you on social media via my good friend Sheena Roberson, Cannabis Noir on IG. And my first thought when I was reading your story was, I remember DMing her immediately like, yo, I gotta have them on the show. You said they in Atlanta.
That's awesome.
And she was like, well, they're busy. And I was like, what the fuck you mean they're busy? Like, it's Cash Color Cannabis. Like, get unbusy.
Right. No,
but she understood. She told me what was going on. So I was like, yo, it's all good. Like, I'm gonna plot this episode. I really want to be able to get into what they're doing before they take off and they're on Vice and they're on High Times. You know what I mean? So
I appreciate that. You spoke that.
Yeah. So let's get into it, man. Beautiful thinking. How did you guys come up with the idea of UNOIA?
So actually, it was not originally our idea.
Okay.
We had some conversation with someone that we were possibly doing a partnership with, and we had talked about like, what are we gonna call it? Like, it was just, we came up with Source. We came up with, and actually before all of this, it was Honey Bunny.
Right.
So it was that was original. So we thought about all these different things, but we wanted to go past like, the medical benefits of CBD and all that stuff. We wanted to get into the mindfulness. So that's kind of where that beautiful thinking, we're like, when we're high or when we're, free from anxiety or whatever, like we think creatively. And so that's what we want to push, is like, it's more than just a high, it's beautiful thinking.
Well, and getting people to look at it in a completely different way. You know what I mean? Because usually, the stigma that's attached to weed, CBD, or for people who don't know, it's like, oh my God, just get it away from me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Especially
my mother.
Hi, my mother.
My mom's like,
it's weed. I'm like, CBD is not weed, Mom. And even weed, it's good for you. It's, you know what I mean?
It's diet weed.
But it's right. But it's hard to get them to understand that mentally. But the ease that we've had with our product and getting people to try it has been mind-blowing.
Well, it's actually in a very nice packaging too. A lot of selling is in the packaging. You know what I mean? So you can sell a lot of stuff if you actually package it well. And then you also have a unique story. When I was on your website, I was reading about how you kind of came to use THC and CBD. Speak to us about how protecting your voice led you to learn about THC and CBD.
So I do voiceover work in Atlanta.
Okay.
So if you've heard
have I heard
Georgia
you?
Natural Gas
That's what I'm like.
commercial.
Yes, I have. I had to pay them. Hell yeah. I'm like, I had to pay them.
It was probably me.
Now that's nightmares.
No, but it's so I'm rep by AMT, and I did a couple voiceovers for them, and then got hired by them because I booked it.
Okay.
And I enjoy my Mary Jane, and I realize how harsh it is on my lungs. Like, even papers, like I won't do it. Glass is my best friend. You know what I mean? And it just messes me up. I won't be able to talk. I'll be stripped completely, So the honey, I was like, there's got to be a way I can infuse this with something. And by Joe, I think she's got it. It worked. And it took us a year to really get it down and develop it. It's gone through a couple names and looks, and now we're finally confident enough to...
and when you talked about the branding, that's something that I do for a living.
I was going to get into that.
It's just like, that's everything for us, because I think people judge you the way it looks. What I'm saying? If you see an elevated brand and you believe in it, you're going to be willing to pay more for it because it's a premium brand.
Facts.
That's what we're trying to do, is premium level stuff. So
and I do know your background is in marketing. What made you feel like this industry would be the best use of your talents?
That's a great question. I don't know. I actually spend a lot of my time in like construction, architecture, engineering stuff. Like, that's usually the marketing that I do. But because I know what cannabis, however, in whatever form, is like amazing. And I thought when I heard this idea, when I heard this idea, I was like, yo, that's genius. And I was like, we were trying to look it up. We're like, do people do this? And there was a couple here and there. Yeah. But the big difference was the branding.
Yes.
And so I was like, yo, I think, like, I can't stop thinking about it. And, like, it wakes us up in the morning. Yeah. Like, so it's like, we got to make it better. We got to do this. I mean, it's gone through so many different versions. Yeah. We started off with purple. Now we're in green. It's just, it's really grown.
And they mean different things, and it's super deep. Like,
look, I'm a fan of the packaging. And you're right, because one thing you will see, especially in the cannabis space, especially, well, I won't say especially from like meaning like just blanket statement, like everybody does this, but you'll see a lot of just bad packaging. Like, you know what I mean? You'll see people just kind of do some really basic type stuff. And they not recognizing that this is not a business that you kind of been doing for a while, so you just kind of get it. I can just give people how they want it. Right. This is about to be something that new people are coming into, and you're gonna have to catch their eye in some way. Yeah. It's gonna be with names. It's gonna be with the packaging. It's gonna be how you market the product. It's not so much how great it is.
Yeah, that's true. That's why we took so much time on it. Like it's our baby. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I mean,
solid. Well, other thing I loved when I went on the website was how much of your marketing of the brand involves people of color, and how much is centered around people of color. How important was it for you to use models of color when it came to your marketing and branding of the brand?
I'll take it. Actually, I have a really hard time, and this is like another business idea that I just need to put aside, but I always have a hard time when I'm doing something graphic, finding people of color doing regular things. Yeah. And so I really took like hours upon hours to find these videos and pictures of people of color, because I think that people don't see, or I won't say people, the United States has a hard time understanding that Black people are regular.
Yes.
Like, and not like we're just humans. And the same thing goes for everything about us. Like, we're just humans at the end of the day. So I think for me, it's like putting these people in these places and not just being people of color. I mean, everybody, because we're humans. You know what I'm saying? So
no, I believe that wholeheartedly, because as somebody who's in the media, one part of Cash Color Cannabis is cashcolorcannabis.com, and we do a lot of our own original stories. And one of the hardest things to do is find Black people just doing stuff. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Like it's almost impossible to find a Black dude just holding the joint. The Black dude got to have a joint on the ground. He's handcuffed. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have regular images. You're correct.
No, for sure. I've seen like disheveled people with like, weed. Like, I'm like, really? Yeah. Why can't they be happy?
Yeah, trust me.
I'm happy.
I've seen the shows like Mary and Jane on MTV. They're happy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, trust me, I'm happy when I have Bud with me, dog. It's not a sad thing. Okay, so your families, how did they feel when they heard that we're going into the world of cannabis?
You go. I'll go for
it. Coming from a family like where, some people in the family smoke, so it's not like they're against it or whatever, but, it's like I'm your child, so now it's like there's dangerous territories that you're in, and it's the wild, wild west is what they're saying right now. So, I feel like up until maybe recently of me having to say something, like on some please help support, I feel like it's almost like they just kind of want to just exit out. And I'm just like, no, this is about to pop. We're trying to break into something. We worked very hard to be where we are right now, visibly and, teaching people and all of that. And I really had a hard time not accepting the fact that sometimes people are just not going to get it. Yeah. And they're going to have to see it for themselves when it blooms and when it blossoms and happens, because it's really hard for that generation of the parents who it's been illegal for them their entire life. So it's really hard for them to look at it in any other way that it's legal now.
It's still hard.
You can even do it.
It's still hard for us. Like I was having a conversation with somebody last week about how when we started this 3 years ago. When I first pitched a friend of mine who's an editor at a major hip hop publication. Won't throw him out there. But I asked him like, yo, can you post this for me? Show some love. And he said, nah, we can't promote drug use. Now, at the same time, I tell people there was a video of Wiz Khalifa on his homepage at the time, and the whole video was Wiz just smoking weed. Yeah. And I'm trying to explain to him, bro, what's the difference between me talking about it and this dude smoking it? And he was like, shrug. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
that's what
wow.
So yeah, we still dealing with that in our own generation.
Yeah.
Like, but that was 2016. I hope people to evolve by now. We have had to have the discussion because I have my own blog. But you know what I mean? I would hope you to evolve by this moment. But we deal with that within our own generations,
Yeah.
and it's blessed that we're seeing it now change up because I have a nephew who just turned 20. His generation, all he knows is black presidents and free and legal weed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's crazy.
How about
Yeah.
that? That's wild.
Yeah, that's his life. Like, I would have never thought that, but that's his life. You know what I'm saying?
No, and you know what? Both of us started smoking late in life. Like, I didn't start smoking until I was 28.
Oh,
And so,
that is
like,
late.
because I
Same.
played basketball. I mean, and I was like goody two shoes
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Like, so I didn't do it. I was scared and believed everything that was, I was
Look,
being told.
I used to play ball too. I didn't start smoking until I was 21 because I mean, when I tell you, I knew everybody who else to smoke. Nope, boom, I'm playing ball, bro.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like, I was
right.
that dude. Like, I didn't.
Exactly.
I was very judgy about it.
I
I'm
was.
like, I was like, get out, just go away.
I'm in the gym like, no smoking, dog. I don't know what y'all
Right.
talking about. Know what y'all talking about?
Now,
Here we go.
now I'm the one that's creating honey sticks.
Exactly.
And I'm like, just put it in your tea, man. It's cool.
Exactly.
They call her the gateway. Because she makes it so nice. Like, it's like, oh,
It's almost like a why not? I'm like, what do you have to lose? Why not? If at most you're going to be relaxed and focused, why not? I don't understand.
I know initially the agaves, it was used for, the honey and agave products were used for tea. Are there any other ways you could use the product? Like if somebody wasn't a tea person, like I put honey on my blunts. Now that, you know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
you can absolutely.
that's my
put it
favorite
in
thing
there.
right now.
That's hilarious.
It is.
So my favorite thing, I like to use. Okay, I'll cut up a bunch of strawberries and then I douse the honey on top and then I stick it in the fridge and then it's like my nightcap.
Hold up,
Yeah.
my wife just hit on live. She said, "Yo, what she say? I met them at the Super Bowl gifting suite. Their honey is delicious."
Hey, that's dope.
Don't give her no ideas, man. Messing up a whole bunch of food in the refrigerator.
Oh, that's dope. No,
Yeah.
so the strawberries is one way. Some people even use like dunk their nuggets in it or
their
whatever.
nuggets.
Glaze their salmon, but the agave.
Look at Nicole's face. Are you about to do this? Are you
I
about
mean,
to do
people-
this?
Biscuits too. Like, so just it's honey. Like, we tell people use it like you would honey. There's no
You treat it like a
taste. Like,
sweetener.
yeah. So,
But
the agave is more. So the reason why we had honey and agave, first it was just honey. And so agave, we talked to enough of our vegan friends, and they were like, "Well, we'd love
really
to
mess with the
participate."
honey.
We were like, "Okay, cool." So we did the agave, but we
Okay.
didn't think about the fact that agave can be used in cold, like drinks and cold things, because honey crystallizes, but agave doesn't. So it can be put in smoothies. It can be put
Liquor drinks.
in liquor drinks.
Hold on.
Particularly, that's what we
Margaritas.
do.
It's also
yeah.
great for the skin. Your publicist just wanted me to.
Oh
throw
yeah,
that
great
one
for
out
the
there.
skin.
Great for the
See?
skin.
I mean, it's just it's such an organic product, and that's why we were like, when we talk about it, so many people that would be so like anti, they're like, well, it's honey.
They're like, okay.
And I think that's the interesting part is like we're tapping into something's very simple. It's a simple integration in somebody's life that they're already doing. I'm already drinking tea. I'm already having my smoothie. I'm already putting honey on my salmon.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
That's what's
Very
up.
cool.
So CBD means a lot for a lot of people. What does CBD mean for you guys?
I've been saying this like for the last like 3 or 4 days. In my opinion, CBD is not about what you feel, it's about what you don't feel.
Oh.
And so, yeah. So it's like,
It's
it's okay, I read it somewhere. I
right?
can't claim it. But it's like, it's the absence of. So it's the absence of anxiety. It's the absence of all those different voices in your head or chronic pain or, all these things. It's just the absence of it. And so it's not like, oh yeah, I feel it. Like, THC is different. We feel it, but you just have to think about it a little differently, and it being taking away things rather than giving you something new.
And you source your products from Colorado?
Yes.
What made you choose Colorado as opposed to say Oregon or any other place?
Actually, it was we had this meeting and we were trying to figure out where we want to go with our brand, and we were hoping maybe we get some investors or something like that.
Yeah.
So we're talking to them, and they were like, "Oh, it's cool, whatever." But there was this one guy who was just sitting and listening, And his brand is Meet Benny, by the way. He's great. Yeah, he actually, that's crazy. Yeah, Meet Benny.
Yeah, Benny.
And so where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so he has a CBD product that they're working on as well. And so we just started talking after the meeting. He was like, actually, I have a great connection with you with CBD, and gave a great connection as far as a contact in Folium Biosciences in Denver. And so we heard about it, we read about it, and we were like, this is a great company. It seems to be one of the biggest ones. So from what we read and what we researched, it felt like it was a good start, at least.
That's what's up. So it's been a good partnership so far. Obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Next week we're gonna have a conversation about CBD and THC and what CBD isn't. And for your event, it's not weed. First, talk to us about the name, because clearly the name is a grabber for most people.
Yeah. So by the way, it ain't weed.
Oh my bad, it ain't weed.
It ain't weed. And the reason why it was so random, I thought about it. I thought about it like I don't know, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, probably after we smoked or something. But I was like, for our southern people, like in Atlanta, we need that southern part. Like it ain't like, because we always say that, like, yo, just listen, it's not weed. It's not weed. And so it's like, yo, it ain't weed. And so that's what we...
And Shawty to the end of that. Hey,
right.
Shawty.
Right. So like that's kind of where we went with it. And we were like, no, I think that's going to turn some heads. And we have such an organic group of people that follow us and that are interested, and we want to educate, not just talk about investments, but also how we can educate the general public. The general public knows, and we can sell our products to more people. So
positive, man. So who are some of the people who are involved with the event?
Let's see who we got.
Cannabis Sonara.
She's coming down.
Oh, is she? Sheena, you gonna be here next week? That's what's
up. She
said
she's working on it.
No,
she's coming.
Okay.
I really think she's gonna.
Okay.
We got the Canamatic.
Canamatic.
Yeah. So we met him at the Super Bowl
gifting
suite.
That's what's up.
And so we connected from there, and he's been really helpful in like just knowing what's going on in Georgia overall. So we're excited for that part. We have you.
True.
By the way, so we're excited about that because we do. We talk about this a couple of times. So we thought this would be a good place. We have Jane Green.
Tangent.
And so, how did you connect with her?
Nicole, but Nicole had moved to Vegas. I don't remember her last name, but Nicole, she's been the plug for this. Just knowledgeable, so that's kind of that's how we met her.
Yeah, and then let's see. Oh, Cannabistro.
Swan.
Swan. So she's gonna be there as well.
Hey, I know a lot of people out here, man.
Yeah, that's right. Like, I know all these people.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
And then one other one was Amina, and we met her through actually the person, our sales rep for Folium Biosciences, and she connected us. And so she's very knowledgeable. She's been out in Denver and all that stuff. Very well versed in all of it. So I think it's gonna be a good group. She's gonna be the moderator, or the host.
Oh, you really?
Yeah.
Are you gonna do voices, or is it gonna be your voice?
Probably.
Maybe.
Oh, don't do Georgia Gas. Everybody run out the venue.
Right.
Is my bill due?
Right. So it's gonna be a good group though. We're excited about it, and it's a free event, so it's a way for people to really just learn, like not try to feel any other way, but just learn. We will have gifting bags.
Yes.
So for CBD brands, and this is in general for CBD brands that are interested in being in the gift bag, we wanted to basically do a sponsorship and a shout out. So during the panel, we'll have a couple of the sponsored the people that have gift bags. Or products or samples in the gift bags, they'll be able to talk for a minute to 2 minutes about their company. So it's a way for like all of us to just know each other and people be familiar with their product and be able to take advantage of that big group of people. I mean, we sold out in a day.
Yeah, you did.
With 100, we were like, should we add?
I think you should have. I think you should have, because I don't want to be that dude who just says, I think I can get more tickets for y'all, and then I don't do it. Like, I think you should at least add another 10 maybe.
We're thinking about it. We're trying to figure out how many people we can fit in there. We want it to be comfortable.
Well, I'll say this. I'll say this. If you could get another 2 people, I would love to do a sponsored contest with y'all, so I could possibly gift some people who come to the show or somebody who I know really would take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Cool.
We could do that.
For sure.
Yeah, we could do that.
That's what I told y'all. I could work that out. Got y'all, man. So
we can do that.
In 10 years from now, where are we gonna see the brand?
Where you? I mean, we're clear.
I think we're clear. We want to build it and sell it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So that's your goal?
We're very clear.
I feel you.
and I think overall, where we want to see this brand is being like the East Coast vibe. I feel like there's so much like Western or California stuff, and so it's like no, let's be, like in Atlanta, we're like. This is the cultural center. Like this is Atlanta's Wakanda. So it's like where else would that genuine brand, black owned brand come from? It would be Atlanta. So overall, we just want to be like, we have everybody like is really interested in our logo too. So people want just what it means, beautiful thinking and the shirt. So just everywhere, man. Like overall. Touching lives and shit.
All right. Before we fade out of here, where can people find you or get more information about UNOIA? And I'm glad you said it immediately because I was about to say it wrong.
UNOIA.
Right.
No, UNOIA, you can find us online at worldofUNOIA.com, UNOIA. And you can order online your sample pack of honey sticks, either 2 honeys. And also the honey is local to Georgia from Sweetwater Creek. So it's really awesome for your allergies. And the agave is straight from Mexico. So it's really, really awesome. All organic. Great for you. Oh, so 2 honeys, you can mix them up. You can, try them out. So
sampler pack, so a honey and agave, and then 2 honey, 2 agave. But we're also doing wholesale as well.
Yes.
So for stores that want to carry UNOIA, that's where we're starting to go. We're doing that now, actually having those conversations. And then we also are going to be actually at Virgil's Gullah Kitchen, which is where the event will be held. They will be serving our agave with their drink. So
are they going to be doing that next week?
Yes.
Yeah. So like you could buy a shot of agave, CBD agave to put in your drinks. And so that's what we're basically trying to get into restaurants, getting to coffee shops, like tea shops. Places that it makes sense that honey will go.
My mind is moving. I'm thinking of some content me and Nicole could do. We might have to curate something.
Yeah, no, let's do it.
Well,
let's go.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming through the show tonight.
No,
I definitely want you to kick it because I feel like you could actually pull something from Nina and from Ned. I think there's really some good synergy that should be here. Another reason why I booked this episode.
Nice.
Thank you.
So appreciate y'all coming through.
Yes, thank you.
And that's Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation sponsored by Fronto Republic. All right, so we're gonna take